in still playing it, I was like, I was openly questioning, like, what the fuck is this game even about?
Yeah,
like, I was like, what is this?
Just send me places. Like, what the fuck?
So I can't even tell you. I mean, like, I think I asked Jerry. I was like, Jerry, what the fuck is the game about? And he was like, she's crazy. And I was like, thanks. I appreciate it. Like, few times been around that track, but it's not just gonna happen like that, because it's episode 130 of the Joystick Show. Woo. Yep.
130. Take 65 times it by 2.
Is that really it? 60 is one. Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
Look at that. Some quick math for you here.
Some quick math. That's why you come here, guys.
People say that, you know, the Joystick Show is all just dick jokes and pop culture, but no, it's a little bit of education in there for you as well.
Think of all of the great groundbreaking trivia we've had too, right?
The fun facts.
Yeah.
The what do we call those?
Several
the fact or fictions, right?
Yeah, fact or fakes or whatever.
Oh my god, I get the fucking
true or false the game, guys.
2 truths and a lie.
Yeah.
Before we get started with anything that is this show that you and me do, welcome. Subscribe to the boys, Team Joystick. It'd help us a lot. And if you like what you see here, don't be afraid to like this episode of the Joystick Show. There's 129 ones before this one.
True.
So you've got tons to watch if this is your first.
And if you don't like this one, I mean, firstly, fuck off. But secondly, you can go.
But there is a chance they might like 131.
Yeah, exactly.
More on that later.
True.
Also, just as a preface, I did mention to Dylan earlier that I was going to say this on the show for you guys. This episode's probably not going to be super, super long.
No.
And the next episode of the Joystick Show, episode 131, will also not be super long. We mentioned in the last podcast that is because we are going on vacation.
Very true.
In one of the weirdest, not weirdest, but in a very odd situation. Not only are we going on vacation at the same time, we're going on vacation together.
And it's like a part of a large group.
Yeah, so not only is there a lot of other stuff not related to the podcast that I at the very least have to get done before we go on the trip. We're going to be making the podcast out there in DR, and then it comes out the day I fly back from the Dominican Republic, which means I have to edit it on vacation.
Very true.
So the shorter the video, the better. Basically what I'm trying to say is this episode's short because I can't edit it much longer, and the next episode's going to be short so I can enjoy my fucking vacation.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
And hey, no fucking breaks. A lot of people that go on vacation for a month and there's no content.
Yeah, right.
But hey, it's the show.
See this?
Next week, the show.
We put an unhealthy amount of attention to this show.
Yeah, despite we put a lot of attention and not a lot of planning, I feel.
Yeah, right.
Like it's a weird ratio we put in.
We figure out the day we're going to shoot this like a day before we shoot this.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes it's like 4, sometimes it's like 6 hours,
I was also going to say it's pretty interesting, like this is the first time in about a month and a half that
me and you.
No, not that we've shot this on a Saturday.
Interesting.
Cuz it's always been Sundays, and last situation we filmed on a Monday.
Yeah, very weird.
It's weird to have so much space
for
between.
A year it was like Friday. It was like the patented day.
So it feels weird. It feels nice for me. I feel a little liberated, like I have time to actually edit.
Yeah, it's like not like a fucking rush. You get actually like.
And yeah, like you said, it has been a while since it's been a solo dolo one. I think it's been a month.
Okay, because it feels long. It feels very long.
Yeah, I mean, we could check. Fuck it.
It feels really long.
That's why we have our YouTube channel. It's so that we can check things like this.
Yeah.
Hold on. Now you have me genuinely curious.
Exactly.
I'm gonna go ahead and guess that it was episode 125.
Yeah, which is over a month. Interesting.
Which, man, if I'm right, I'm actually gonna be so proud of myself. Oh, no, that's a soup argument.
Yeah, soup is great.
Shout outs to like the best moment from our channel.
Yeah. People still find. I forgot who brought that up, but I think it was like Jose's sister one time brought it up, and she actually commented on the video, and I'm like, damn, bro, fucking, we used to have to argue about fucking broth on the show.
I was off by one. Our last solo dolo was 124.
Interesting. Yeah, it's been a month and a half.
Over a month and a half, yeah.
Ooh.
Crazy.
I miss you, buddy.
Missed you too, man.
This intimate time. To start with some intimate moments, I have a little game for you.
Okay.
All right. So,
is this what we were gonna?
Yeah, this is what this is. Okay, yeah. So the start.
Keep in mind, Dylan was not gonna mention this on the podcast. He was like, "Oh, it's probably not even that."
So like the last week, I was like going through my YouTube history, as Bobby often does when I come over, and his amazing Instagram saved, which is just beautiful a lot of times. But I was going through my YouTube and I realized that everything is just like mysteries because I'm like a big like icebergs and stuff like that. I watch a lot of cold case stuff and murder stuff. So it's like my entire YouTube is just like mysteries and just like historical shit. But mostly it's like internet stuff. And a lot of them are stupid. It's like this random song from like Brazil, but it's like it sounds like an American song and no one can find out who the fuck made it. Shit like that. There's an interesting story from Reddit that involves a certain someone who bought a poster that was made in, I believe, the Philippines or Thailand. And they bought this poster from a foreign country, so it was a little sketchy, I would say, right? And so the poster, it was a print, kind of like a tapestry, and it had, I want to say, 18 different celebrities. It had a lot of different celebrities on it. And there was one celebrity, because every day people went in and they're like, oh, that's Josh Holloway from Lost. That's George Clooney or whatever, insert famous person here. But there was one person, and that person was person number 6.
Okay.
Now, we should have planned this maybe where like I send you the photo.
Yeah, okay, but it's okay. You know.
And maybe that would be...
This is just more so of an interesting topic than an original segment. I mean, this sounds like it's been an ongoing case for a while. So.
Yeah. So I'm going to show you the face.
Is there like an example photo you can show me first so I can kind of get the idea of like what they look like?
Okay, so this is the print. If you want to pull this up on screen on the actual podcast or maybe follow the link and pull it up on the thing, but that is the photo.
So going into it, I thought it was going to be more like that with low detail and stuff.
But this is
pretty detailed.
It's pretty detailed. However, they have altered the faces of the people.
And I can already kind of see some of them. But who are you referring to?
So the person I'm referring to is right here. Okay. This is celebrity number 6. Now you can zoom in on the photo and show it. This is the celebrity that has stumped people and has just been solved, I want to say, like a week or 2 ago.
Holy shit.
It has, and by the way, the original Reddit post was 2008.
Okay.
And within like 3 weeks, they figured out everyone except for this person.
It's funny, you said Evangeline Lilly earlier, and I see it.
Because what happened was Josh Holloway and another person from Lost, I believe, are on the actual tapestry. So I thought that it would be Evangeline Lilly or some female actress with like, because it almost looks Asian in this photo. You know what I mean? It has like that, like that's what I saw at first.
I was about to say, it's like a wide jaw, and you just said female actress. Is this a guy?
The reason why no one knew is because the entire time, and it's a guy, and they altered the photo so that the hairline is different.
Is it Heath Ledger?
No. That's actually that was the number one guess that everyone had.
Is it Brad Pitt?
You got it.
Wow.
That was really quick, Bobby. You could have solved this mystery 10 years ago, Bobby.
Holy shit. Yeah, the jaw is like super boxed out.
It is a picture of Brad Pitt from 1991.
Yeah, like Legends of the Fall. Like, hell yeah.
It is a photo. And that's what threw people off, too, is that all of the photos are from different time periods. Some are from the 80s, some are from the 2000s.
Gotcha. I noticed like Orlando Bloom, Chris Pine, and stuff like that. But...
So no one knew it was Brad Pitt the entire time. And they found the photo. And actually, someone found the photo in 2017, but they had facial hair, so they thought it wasn't him. But as with like 4 of the people,
there was alterations and stuff.
They cut out the facial hair.
Interesting.
So I think fun. So now I feel like Bobby can probably solve every internet mystery out there.
Yeah, I think that's what I think. We just bring all of them to me.
Next week I'll show you a new wave song that no one can figure out. And you're gonna be like, oh, that's Depeche Mode from their hidden EP, and you have a copy in your basement. Yeah. Your dad's like, I know it.
Depeche Mode comes out of the closet to perform it live on the Joystick show.
Dun, 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 on my mind. Like, fuck, bro.
Real quick, just on like the topic of like internet mysteries, like 2 weeks ago, I think I was on YouTube. But there's an artist who I really like. His name is Genesis Owusu, and he's I think he's from Australia. But he's like, remember that song it was a jam one week. It's called "I Don't Need You," and it's like, "You could this be true?" And there's like the guy in the pirate hat who's like playing the guitar. It's that guy. And one day I was like, I think I was watching a Smash Brothers tournament, and a Twitch ad ran that he was in. So like it was the one time that I like looked at a Twitch ad and I was like, oh shit, like this is a guy I know. And it was him doing some collab with Bose for some playlists that they're making of original songs that other musicians and artists made.
Okay.
And he essentially made a song for that playlist and it was mad dope. And they play it in that little like 45-second ad or whatever.
Okay.
And then I forgot about it. And for like a week, I was literally Googling like Genesis Owusu new music, new song. I didn't remember it was a Bose commercial, so I was like Genesis Owusu commercial, and I couldn't find it. And eventually I found it. And I actually paid attention, and he's like, the song is called Whole Heart from my new EP, and I really wanted to share it. Can't find the song anywhere. Turns out that the song belongs technically to Bose, and that they're going to drop it as part of that playlist sometime in March.
Okay.
But I've been looking for the song for forever, and finally when I got like the information I needed, it was like, you still can't have it yet.
Yeah, but I mean, you looked for something that didn't come out yet.
Yeah, but if you put the ad out 2 fucking weeks ago, it sounds like it'd be out by then.
Like, hey, but
Just
guess what? When that playlist drops, they know who's listening to it. Like, they got you. I feel like Bose fucking got there. The marketing department at Bose is just like, yes.
They did. Speaking of music.
Speaking of Bose.
Something I really wanted to talk to you about.
Okay.
I mentioned to you earlier that there was something that happened in internet media, in internet culture. Very rarely does something happen in internet culture that kind of like breaks through to mass pop culture, and then it like, gets covered by a lot of sources. I wouldn't say it was necessarily newsworthy, but it was entertainment newsworthy.
Okay.
So you and I think it's fair to say that I think to rope you into this, considering you are the person who introduced me to them in the first place. I think it's fair to say that you and I are both relative fans of the podcast Come Town.
Yes.
And their hosts, right?
Big fan.
So, and just to elaborate real quick, we've probably done it in the past. Come Town is not anything sexual. It is a comedy podcast that was hosted by 3 New York-based comedians.
Yes. I've shown my dad clips, and he's died laughing.
Yep, same
he
thing
is
with
not.
my
They don't
dad.
care about the cum thing.
They're known for being very like ironically offensive.
Yeah.
Straight up. They'll make racist and sexist jokes, but
make fun of anything.
They kind of understand that. They expect you to understand that they don't actually mean what that they're saying, and that they're trying to make jokes and levity out of it.
Yeah.
And there's still going to be people, and they've been the source of much fucking controversy.
Yeah, and even with them and other Chapo Trap House and other those type of podcasts, there's even like a coined name. Like you go on Wikipedia, and it's called Dirtbag Left. I've heard of center left. Yeah, so it's like that is the tie. So it's basically just like not technically political, but just like so far that you're just like, you know what? I'm gonna make fun of everything, kind of like almost comedian style.
Exactly.
That like no one's safe.
And in a weird way, I feel like you and I do that, not necessarily on this show, but like we do it in just our own personal sense of humor, just maybe not as crude as
not as upfront.
We just kind of do it more in like not to speak to our intelligence, but more in like a woke kind of way, like oh this fucking thing, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But again, I'm ranting. After Come Town disbanded last year, Stavros left, and the 2 remaining hosts, Nick Mullen and Adam Friedland, started the spinoff of their podcast called The Adam Friedland Show, which is a new kind of it's not really a podcast. It's more of like a late night feeling talk show where they get celebrities and guests of all different
Did not
kinds.
think that it was going to go in this direction.
Right.
When it went,
there's
the development.
There's like weird sketches and cold opens and monologues, but it weirdly is like a really cool thing to watch because it's just a lot of creativity spawned with that dumb humor that they're known for, right? Mm-hmm. And in the time that this has happened, in like the past couple of months, they've managed to get a couple of guests. They've gotten Mac DeMarco. They got this guy, what's his name? Dirt Nasty, the rapper and the actor from Scary Movie and all that. They even got, I don't know his name by heart. The best way I could describe it, the viral video of like the short man.
I love
like
the fucking short man yelling at the
like,
trumpet
you have
guy.
no talent, right?
You have, I was a guy for Bob Dylan.
NYU.
I was on the stage. I know real
So they got a lot of people,
Yeah.
but they recently did an interview with Matty Healy,
Yeah.
who's the lead singer of the 1975.
Yes.
And in the interview, there was a portion where Nick Mullen joins in, and basically how the show works out from what I've seen is that it starts off kind of like as that interview kind of feel, and then at some point it just devolves into a regular podcasty episode where Nick jumps in and they talk and have like an open discussion type of thing.
Yeah.
I don't think people really you have to keep in mind that the 1975 is one of those big pop bands that, if we're being honest, is predominantly, it's big with teenage girls,
females,
that kind of
yeah.
You know where I'm getting at, right?
Yeah, especially back in. I mean, we all remember Chocolate.
Yeah,
I know all these songs.
I have a couple of.
I have like that, especially when they went in like that kind of like 80s, 90s vibe where everything was like super bright and high. Yeah. They really changed their sound.
So, Matty Healy went on, and in like a breath of fresh air for me, he actually ended up being kind of very similar in terms of the jokes and the humor to Nick and Adam.
I've seen him in interviews before, and I know he's funny.
Yeah. And apparently there's been controversies in the past where, like, I think he got in trouble for, like, faking C. Kyles and shit like that as jokes. But what I'm trying to get at is Matty Healy from the 1975 is not as, goody-goody two-shoes as being in a band like that would have you believe, I guess. He's kind of more dark humor.
There's kind of a few people like that. Like, I remember when, I know it was not the best example, but I remember Shawn Mendes went on Hot Ones, and he swore 20 times in 1 minute, and I went, Shawn Mendes, I went, hey!
Yeah, right?
And I just went, that's who he is. He's just like that. And then they, like, sweeten up his image, obviously, for the music.
But, Matty Healy went on, and they had some very typical Cumtown or Adam Friedland show discussions.
Yeah.
And the internet went ablaze.
Yeah.
A lot of old fans, keyword old fans of the 1975, have stopped supporting him and the band because of comments he made on the show. It reached Hassan. Hassan was streaming about it on Twitter.
Yeah.
He even openly told people that they shouldn't watch Cumtown because it's like that it's offensive and all this shit.
Yeah.
And then it's literally tweet after tweet after tweet of all of these 1975 stands of like, I'm sick to my stomach.
Yeah.
I've supported him for this long.
I've heard about this, but I didn't know it was like, I didn't know it was like a big deal.
And I'm reading this like, damn, like,
what did he
Nick
say?
and Adam really got this guy in some heat. And then I listened to the clip, and I don't know if it speaks more about me or the situation, but fucking hell, Dylan, I was laughing the entire time. That shit was like the funniest fucking thing to me, man. When it, like, they made their typical sexist jokes and all that stuff, but I think the big one that made headlines is
who made the, so is it Matt that made the joke? That's why it blew up, or was
Nick made a comment. Nick made a comment.
Nick,
he was basically saying, like, could you imagine, like, the Japanese people who worked at the concentration camps in World War II, but, like, in Germany, like, from the Japanese army? And then Matty Healy was originally like, I'd love to hear you do that. Can you do that, Vote? Can you do that? And then, Adam started joking about. So then, it just cuts to Nick. And again, I'm quoting here, right? It just cuts to Nick, who's like, Pris, get in the shower. It's a shower for you. And it's like terrible, bro. But I'm crying. Like, they're all dying laughing, right? And all of the news articles are like, Matty Healy being canceled over insensitive comments he made about Japanese workers at concentration camps and Scottish accents and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There's like another part where people were trying, another musician, Youngblood, got on his case because they were like, it's so sad to see a group of grown men, because they were talking about Ice Spice. And they were like, it's sad to see a group of grown men, like, essentially objectifying a young musician or something like that, our fucking 30s man or whatever. And then Matty Healy, like, clapped back. And then a couple people that I saw who were, like, defending the argument were like, Ice Spice does a pretty decent job of sexualizing herself.
Yeah, I mean, her album cover, one of her album covers, by the way, her EP, is literally just her ass and
like
legs.
Her bent over.
It's her ass and legs.
Yeah.
And I'm like...
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess what I'm trying to say here is I'm not defending Nick and Adam because being a fan of theirs, I know some of the shit they've said and I know some of the shit I've laughed at.
It's I don't know. I think it's just because, like, it's Matt Healy.
But I just think it opened a bigger conversation for, like, can people not just be who they are? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely more complicated when it comes to, like, musicians and, like, the financial side of that, because especially with, like, record labels, the amount of money that's tied into that, with, like, touring and fucking selling merch and all that stuff. There's so much money involved that you kind of need to not do that kind of thing.
True.
But at the same time, like, it's guys that had a podcast called Cumtown.
Yeah. No,
like, why are we coming into it like, damn, look at these serious, like, we're acting like this is like a serious like they were in a school and they were promoting World War II concentration camps. It's like they literally had a one-off joke and then they put their friend on the spot who they knew they couldn't do a good impression of this thing. Like that's what it sounds like.
And fucking and you made a really good point about how to some degree it is a responsibility of the artist, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, it does open up that kind of that discussion of like, of a fan, how healthy is it for you to actually follow somebody to that degree? To the point where you hear this person make one-off color joke and you're like, I can't support them in anything you do. And it's like, guess what? He probably jokes around like that a lot.
Yeah, he probably says stuff like every day. I mean, this probably everyone you love probably says sexist, fucked up things every day.
I'll be the first one to admit that as soon as this podcast shuts off and we go upstairs, we say some fucked up shit.
And guess what? That stays in that room.
And you know what I mean? We don't mean it, but we have fun and we joke around like that.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it just comes down to the point of like, how, like you said, how healthy is it for you to like have your life ruined because someone you like said the thing?
Yeah.
Like it's like at a certain point we just have to be like, anyone that you put on a pedestal is also still just a person. Mm-hmm. And I feel like at the end of the day, anything they say could just like, you don't want something like that. Like if you say something, no one ever thinks of like the tables turned. Exactly. And then it's like, all right, now you're getting prosecuted for saying something. And it's like, I just went on a podcast.
Yeah,
like,
word.
Imagine if like your friend asks you to go on a podcast and you go on and everyone's like, he supports concentration camps. How fucking dare he? It's like, no,
relax. Yeah,
that's not what happened.
Yeah,
I didn't know. I saw Hassan cover it, but I didn't know he had those takes. I thought he would be. I thought Hassan would be on the comedy side, but he also flipped.
He wasn't on the comedy side, but he was on the side of like making fun of all of the stands. Like he was making fun of that.
Yeah.
But he at the same time was kind of anti the jokes and all that.
Yeah.
Which, to be fair, like I'm not trying to be that guy. I saw a lot of people make that same comment, and I just kind of feel like it's low key because they don't want to outwardly support them when they're being funny. Like, you know what I mean? Like they're funny jokes, but they're. We live in a society now where people have to care so much about how they're presented and what they present that if they're even just talking about a channel or a group like Cumtown, they have to be like, oh, I don't really listen to them or anything like that. Fuck that shit. They're hilarious. Like, I love Cumtown.
Yeah, they're funny.
Regardless.
Yeah. Also, like, when you throw out jokes, like, some of them aren't going to hit.
Yeah.
There's going to be a situation in a year where Adam says some shit that's like, I don't know. Go on those guys' Twitter accounts. You'll find way worse stuff.
Yeah, word.
Yeah.
For sure. But anyway, that was my my take with that. My spiel. Definitely wanted to get that into the ether if I could.
It's real, yeah.
I have another thing.
Yeah?
I've been serially addicted to a video game.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've been like addicted to
sure?
a game. Yeah. Like, how do I put this? I'm not addicted in the sense that like as soon as we put this down, I want to run up and play it. But for like 2 days, I was addicted.
Yeah.
To the point where like, here's how bad it was. I got up one morning, I started playing the game for about 3 hours, and then my mom walked by and she was like, "Are you not gonna eat?" And I was like, "Oh shit, I should probably eat something." So I ordered food, and then I kept playing, and then I died, and then I looked at my phone, and my food had been hanging on my doorknob outside for 18 minutes.
Bobby.
Yeah.
Bobby.
So that's I've been
pause it. It's a single player game, Bobby. You can pause the game.
So I've been playing Returnal.
You press pause, the game pauses.
Yeah,
you could even press the PS menu. There's a button in the middle of the controller. That's a PlayStation menu.
I know, man. I know. This is I'm not saying this out of pride.
Yeah, you're saying this out of self-awareness.
Yeah. No, for sure. But yeah, the game is fucking so fun. The funny thing is I've had it in the back burner for months. Jerry played it first, and Jose used to watch Jerry play it a shit ton. So then when Jose would come over, he would try to get me to play it. But at the time, I was playing Enter the Gungeon, which is another roguelike kind of random element game, and I didn't want to play two back-to-back at the same time like that. So very randomly, I just picked it up like 3 days ago, and I was like, oh, I'll play some Returnal.
And it's free.
I got severely encapsulated into the game, and I beat it in 2 days.
Nice.
I fiended over it, yeah. Still trying to platinum it, but holy crap, I'm just kind of mad I didn't give the game a shot earlier, but I'm really enjoying what I've been able to do with it lately. It's a super fun game. Well, have you played it?
I've seen it played. I have not played it myself. I also was in the boat of like, I saw Jerry play it one time, and I was like, oh, this looks sick. It seems like something I wouldn't be good at, but I would want to try to get good at.
I found myself getting pretty good at it, like pretty fast, but I think it's also because I come from that roguelike background, so I'm not that I'm used to the game's mechanics, but I'm used to like dodging shit.
Yeah, I mean, it helps that it's 3D that it's like a world and stuff. I feel like that would help me because I'm pretty bad at like 2D stuff.
Top down stuff.
Top down, I'm really bad at. Top down and like beat 'em up stuff, I'm pretty bad at. Whereas like something like Rogue Legacy, I could probably handle.
And sorry, I had like an internal one of those. It just didn't come out.
But it just didn't. It just
yeah. But the game itself is really, really fun. I think my biggest nopes when it comes to the game are I guess I'll start off with this. The story's weird as shit. I couldn't tell you what the story's about. I think I even went on Wikipedia and I didn't fully understand
a lot of times with games nowadays, like I feel like it's maybe just because I play sports games and I don't want the fucking hoopla.
Yeah.
But a lot of times I don't care about the
No, yeah, I don't. It's not like I go in caring either. But
unless it's like a God of War or like a cutscene based game.
Because to tell you the truth, I truthfully don't really care about the story that much either. But the story was that weird that in still playing it, I was like, I was openly questioning, like, what the fuck is this game even about?
Yeah,
like, I was like, what is this?
Just send me places. Like, what the fuck?
So I can't even tell you. I mean, like, I asked Jerry. I was like, Jerry, what the fuck is the game about? And he was like, she's crazy. And I was like, thanks. I appreciate it. Like, God. And I couldn't even be mad at him.
Jerry's gonna be a great husband.
I couldn't even be mad at him because I was like, he's kind of right. Like, I guess that's the explanation, but. So that was like my one kind of like nah, and my second biggest nah was the game has 6 biomes, like 6 worlds or levels that you traverse through, and you go through each one, and 5 of them have bosses. There's a boss for the first, second, third, fourth, and 6th biome, with the 5th one being the only one that doesn't have one. So I had beaten the first 4 bosses. I had been up to the 5th biome and I beat it, and now I was finally in the 6th final biome. It's like this huge underwater level. Okay. And I remember in like getting through it, like the enemies are super annoying and they're coming at you and you're dying really fast and all this stuff. I asked Jerry, I was like, Jerry, how hard is the final boss? Because I was like, shit, this game is like really starting to ramp up. And he was like, don't worry about it. The final boss is a fucking joke, Dylan. Like I can beat the final. I've beaten like yesterday. I beat the final boss 3 times in a row without getting hit.
That's sad.
I was legitimately upset.
That's
I was like,
upsetting a little bit.
Yeah,
like,
I was like,
not that I want it to be like so hard.
Yeah, but you want it to be a little more fucking epic.
I mean, it kind of. I mean, a little bit. I don't know. I feel like it's been a while since a boss battle really like challenged me. I feel like I feel like especially when it comes to like maybe I just play platformers a lot, but like
I mean to give it perspective, the earlier bosses in the game are really hard.
Yeah,
but that's why it was such like a fucking punch in the dick when it's like you like the 4th boss is really difficult and you're like, oh, what's next? And it's like, oh, this piece
the game was just like, you did it.
It almost felt like the developers were like, we've put in too much work. Let's just
let's give this is for you guys.
Let's scale
this
it
for
back
you
a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just my Returnal take. It's a lot of fun. I want to platinum it as early as possible, but I might have to put it on the back burner until after the ER because, as you know, I've got a ton of other stuff to do with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's so much fun. I love that game. I'm over the 2-day addiction, but now I'm in the ongoing infatuation. It's a different period.
Love.
Yeah.
Romance.
Mm-hmm. It's not love. It's infatuation.
No.
There's a difference.
Oh yeah.
Love is like if it were a 10 out of 10 game, I'd love that game.
Yeah.
There's a few games I love, but infatuated with quite a few. I have to stop talking like this. I get women. I get pussy. This is
wait, what?
It makes it sound like I'm a fucking incel when I'm like, I love video games.
The tone is just enough that it's like
it's like
a woman would still find you attractive after this.
Like, wow, he's well spoken about.
Yeah. Like if you go on like I'm cutting it. This is it. It ends right here, right? Because it's like another minute. It's like rejection. It's you like this a lot.
I also like vagina. There's a difference.
Yeah. It's like how many Funko Pops do you have to have until you're pussy repellent? You know, like how much? Like a girl walks in and
Joey.
Like it's kind of like in like the reboot of iCarly, like the ick, you know, that kind of thing where it's just kind of like damn, like a girl walks in and.
By the way, I think the number is 1 more than however many Joey has. You know what I'm saying? Because that man still pulls, but. He's got a lot of Funko Pops.
Yeah.
So I guess to end that part, Returnal good,
Funko
sex
Pop
good.
bad, sex good,
fucking
woman good.
Before we do anything else, we mentioned earlier that we were gonna order some food.
Yeah.
I'm very hungry.
Yeah.
Can we figure that out really quickly? I'll bust out the cellular device.
Bust out the cellular device.
And we can go into the new topic of the show. Bobby and Dylan order from a restaurant on Uber Eats.
Correct.
Okay, we're going like the fast food route. I'd assume.
That's usually how it works here.
Don't say usually. You know,
That's
we almost never order fast food. We always ordered kale salads and
it's always fast food
and filet mignon and creme brulee.
You're just trying to call you like Bobby's like French words.
Yeah.
French food.
And L'Aéroport. No, we got Popeyes, we got KFC, we have Taco Bell, we have Burger King, Wendy's,
all of these sound good
White
right now.
Castle. What you thinking?
I don't know. All these sound good right now. I don't know.
I mean, I guess the only one I will veto is Taco Bell, just because I had it yesterday.
Okay.
But I mean, if you still want it, I'll be like, whatever.
Maybe. I'd be down for Taco Bell. I'd be down for KFC. KFC really. I saw that they had a snack wrap now.
Excuse me?
Yeah, I saw it on the.
Oh, it's like literally on the fucking picture. It's like right here.
Okay.
Whoa, what is this?
So I saw it on the KFC coming here, and it was 2 for $6 for like chicken snack wraps. I don't know how true it is. I don't know what they look like. I don't know if they're good or not.
They're called KFC wraps, and they are 2 for $6.
Interesting.
2 for $6 KFC wraps. New Kentucky Fried Chicken wraps. Your choice of the classic or spicy slaw. And you can also get a combo that comes with 2 wraps, a side, and a drink.
Okay, so it just seems like a piece of chicken and a tortilla, but, you know.
I mean, I don't know. I could zoom in on it for you. It looks like, here, that's what it looks like.
Okay. It looks like just a wrap.
I kind of want to try it.
Yeah, it looks like it slaps a little bit.
I kind of want to, like, call my mom real quick and be like, yo, you want a KFC wrap, so then I can order the 2, you know.
Yeah,
she could have one.
I mean, I'm sure if they're 2 for $6, they're not big, you know.
Yeah, no, I don't expect them to be big, but I'm also gonna get probably like tenders and stuff, and maybe the popcorn chicken. I'm not big on the sandwiches per se, but you know. Take your time.
This is important. Not a
and no rush whatsoever.
Whip out like a side project.
Not like on fire in the basement or anything.
Yeah.
How you reached Diana?
Now everybody's gonna know my mom's name is Diana.
Yeah, how dare she? It's not like we said it on the show when we were going to the DR for
like
her
she's
birthday.
Been on this. Hold on, let's try the other one. Let's try the other parent real quick. He hasn't been on, you know. Oh, he's been live, but he hasn't been on. He's been on a phone call.
Hey, son.
Hey, father, is mom around? Oh, never mind. She's calling me. I was trying to reach her. Thank you. All right. Hello?
Yeah?
Hey, it's weird. I was just talking to Dad, and then I heard him in the background of the call that I'm talking to you on. Anyway, Dylan and I are ordering KFC, right? First question. Are you even just, like, slightly hungry a little bit?
No, Dad's having Naomi and Jesus obviously is making some sandwiches.
That's awesome. I don't care. They have something called the KFC wrap. It's 2 for $6. If I get 2, will you have one with me? They're like the new snack wrap.
Sure.
Sounds good. I appreciate it. Thank you for not saying no. You've been live on the podcast.
I totally expected your mom to fucking end it, bro. She was whipping something up, bro.
Yeah.
You hung up on her. She was in her head. She was like, how do I conclude? She's like the grand finale.
I ended it before she had enough time to embarrass me on camera.
Yeah.
So real quick, let me get my 2 KFC wraps.
Beautiful.
I'm gonna get the regular and the spicy.
Beautiful. Can I go on a rant real quick before we we're not gonna close up yet.
Is it a KFC rant?
Slightly, but I feel like not really.
Okay.
Well, firstly, bring back the double down, right? Like, obviously.
Please.
Bring back the double down.
I want to die. How unhealthy it is.
I want to die.
That shit is dope. I want to die. What he
Yeah,
said.
Exactly. But more importantly, I'm going to do a very on-brand thing.
And sorry, just to cut you off one more time. Remember I told you about the popcorn nuggets? It's a large for $6. It looks like that. But you can't get the sides or anything, so I don't understand. But
interesting.
still very good. I've had it recently.
That's a good combo.
It's a good fill. You just sit there and fucking. It's like popcorn, but it's chicken and you get fatter. So. But anyway, go ahead. I'm gonna do my order. While you continue.
Very interesting. In very much like Dylan fashion, I am going to review and possibly rant about a movie that came out 15 years ago, maybe even more.
I like it.
Okay. So we all have our favorite directors, right? Bobby, I know some of your favorite directors, right? You love Fincher, you like Tarantino. I also really like Tarantino. What are you have other directors you like?
While you do that, I actually just recently was asked this question, funny enough.
Yes.
And my answers were my top 3 directors would probably be David Fincher, Quentin Tarantino, and Edgar Wright.
Interesting. That's a good combo.
Person who I was also having this conversation with asked me my opinion of Scorsese, and I said I actually am not a big Scorsese fan.
Yeah.
But
a lot of dialogue going on there.
yeah, you know. But that's my take anyway.
Yes. So the reason why I asked that, and it's very important, is because I share a lot of those same directors with you. Another director, or I guess directors, even though only one gets credit, are the Coen brothers.
Of course.
Joel and Ethan Coen. Right?
Okay, yeah, I'm just thinking about a Coen movie that came out 15 years ago. Approximately.
15 to 20, I think?
Did you order, by the way?
No, I didn't yet.
Finish,
Sorry.
so we
Oh,
can
okay.
fucking do that.
Your face.
Oh.
Show me your face.
Yeah, it did it. Look at that.
Oh, wow. Shout outs to fucking...
Shout out to Apple.
Shout outs to my favorite. I can order one wing, bro.
Yeah, you can.
I can order one wing. Do I want one wing?
Sorry, also, there's real quick. I just also want to shout. This episode of the Joystick Show is not sponsored by Kentucky Fried Chicken, but they've been on the ball lately with their menu items, and also that it's relatively affordable compared to all the other stuff.
It's
like,
I'm looking at the prices right now. I'm like, shit,
yeah,
bro.
like I'm low key. There's times where like I really want Popeyes, but I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna save some money and get KFC.
Yeah, they even have a pot pie. Like shit,
Yeah.
Popeyes are fucking good. You know what? I'm gonna just go the popcorn nugget route. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's the way we do it.
You're gonna get a side.
Perhaps.
If you want, I could get the side for you while you continue your rant.
No.
Okay, cool. That's
No, we're just stopping.
got you.
We're not. We gotta. You know, I'm gonna order one wrap as well, and no side.
Did you order?
Yeah.
Okay. I cut away for that moment. And
And now that everyone had to think about the movie is fucking No Country for Old Men.
you have a rant about.
I have a rant about No Country for Old Men.
Okay.
Okay? Fuck this movie and everything it tries to do. Okay? It is one of my favorite movies and it is horrible to watch. Because I
Okay.
know it's... Have you seen this movie?
Yeah, hold on.
Yeah.
Before we continue, 2K, or rather, the spicy wrap and the large.
Yeah,
popcorn
I got
nuggets.
that, yes.
Fantastic. You continue.
Beautiful. Okay, so... What is the movie about? Bobby, can you tell us what the movie is about? Have you seen it lately? When was the last time you saw it? Can you give me a little bit of a little... Because I like this movie a lot, but it is maybe one of the most unappealing movies to watch, especially in the second half.
Uh-huh.
Like the third act of this movie is like it's not the same movie. It's a different movie, and I feel like the Coen brothers made this movie to annoy me specifically. You know?
Why is that?
Because so the movie has, I would say, probably like three main like people in it, right? It has Javier Bardem
As the killer.
as the killer guy.
Ethan Hawke.
Yeah,
Who's the?
Ethan Hawke, and then this guy
Tommy
Tommy
Lee Jones,
Tommy
yeah.
Lee Jones. Those are the three main people in the plot. What's his name? Anton Chigurh is
Yeah.
the Javier Bardem part. And the entire movie is essentially a cat and mouse chase between Ethan Hawke's character and
Anton Chigurh.
Anton Chigurh, where he's chasing him down. But about midway through the movie, the Coen brothers are like, hey, you know how we show everyone dying? What if we just stop doing that? And so the rest of the movie is every other character that we've seen the entire movie dying, but off camera.
Like, you're not wrong.
And
Like,
that is literally the entire... And every time...
even in like the hotel scene, right? Like he kills the dude and then
the first time I've seen the movie, I was like, where's Ethan Hawke? And it was like, oh, he died in that scene 1 minute ago. I'm like, what the fuck? You kill off the main guy we're following and just like, oh yeah, they killed him and they found him the next morning.
Yeah.
What? Oh, like... Bro, like I'm so mad about it. And the reason why the Coen brothers did this is because they wanted to show that the movie isn't about him. It's not even really about Anton Chigurh.
Mm-hmm.
It's about Tommy Lee Jones and how he's slow and he's a sheriff and he can't really do things.
Yeah.
Thus the name of the movie is No Country for Old Men. But but watching it, you completely forget that this guy is even fucking important because he's the most dumb character. He has no likability. The entire movie, they're like the whole thing is like he really can't do much, right? Because he's old and he's inexperienced. They don't really have any funding. But like he spends like 10 minutes bringing a horse to investigate the scene. Bro, just walk to the fucking car, bro. It's all dirt. Why do you need a horse to go like traverse like half a mile. There's a scene where they're like, hey, another person died. Do you want to go check out the ballistics? He's at a diner eating pancakes. He's like, nah, I'm not needed. It's like, well, you're not near the fucking sheriff. What do you mean you're not needed? And then, so Anton Chigurh kills off the main character, kills off the main character's girlfriend, kills off Woody Harrelson, who's like the coolest character, but is in the movie for like 5 minutes. And I actually like how they kill him, because he's on the phone and he shoots him, and then you see the blood trail. That one's actually a little cool. And then after all of this, it just like, I feel like it's not a camera pan. I feel like it's a cut. But then the camera just like pans over the Tommy Lee Jones, and he's just doing like errands. And then they're at home and he's eating cereal. And then the movie cuts mid-sentence, Soprano style. And that's the end of the movie. And I like, even watching it now, I was watching it with my girlfriend, and I told her the end before we got to the end, because she had to go, because she had work at like 7 in the morning, and she's like, that's a fucking stupid ending. And I went, I know, it's so dumb.
Oh man, it's way funnier for me because like I know how much you like the Coen brothers, but I also know how much you hate every single thing you mentioned you hate about what that happened in that movie and movies in general. Yeah,
and just in general, I feel like a lot of their movies do that to me, because it's just like there's something about their movies that are like, I feel like they like fucking with people. Yeah. They like misdirection. They love the ambiguous ending or the sad ending. Mm-hmm. Another movie I can think of is even Fargo, which is like, I remember I watched this for the first time and I was like, it's not funny. Like, it's a comedy, but there's no, like, it's just like absurd. It's not really like actually funny.
Jokes.
Like, it's not like Big Lebowski where you're like, oh, this is actually, there's good scenes here. But, man, when you're watching a fucking suspenseful movie, you're not thinking, man, this movie's actually about the boring-ass sheriff.
Yeah.
Don't watch the movie, because I told you all about the movie.
Unless you're an old man.
Who just can't get by. Who just every time, you show up 30 minutes late.
It's the most you've ever lost on a coin toss.
Yeah. And there's all these other scenes.
If I can get the footage of Jose forcing Joey to do that impression, here's the video of Jose forcing Joey to do the Anton Chigurh impression.
I remember I did it the other night, and Bobby had like no reaction. And I did it, and Bobby was just like, he continued to play. I'm like, damn, I just did the Joey Anton Chigurh. But it was like, man, like, what a crazy movie that isn't, I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's just...
Good movie, but
it's a good. Like I said, I explained the first.
I tell people like it's funny because when I describe that movie, I usually tell people that I'm not terribly gripped by the story. But what I love about that movie is it just reeks of tonality, because like the tone in that movie is so fucking. Like,
I feel like that's
beautiful.
just the Coen brothers like style.
Yeah,
is just like get the tone down to.
And who was the cinematographer on that movie, right?
Who?
Roger fucking Deakins, my boy. So, as far as cinematography and as far as tone goes, that's definitely one of my favorite movies.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's pretty stupid.
it's a movie that just like I get it too, because it's like it's a movie that is just like to end it here.
Yeah,
it's one of the most pleasurable, and then it changes to most unpleasurable movie to ever watch, because not only, as you said, the tone, but also there's just like this layer of like hopelessness. That it's like the entire movie, people are just like, yeah, he has no hope. Yeah, there's no hope. It's Anton Chigurh. Yeah. There's no hope.
Speaking of that, it's been a while since we did one of these, so I'm just gonna do a little framed. That's
nice.
California.
There's actually one I do have to tell you about. There's a game like this. We'll end on.
I don't know.
Is this Philadelphia?
Oh wait, I can't actually see that well. I don't know what this is. Is this Aaron Brockovich? Yeah, it's Aaron Brockovich. I'm just not even gonna write it. Fucking what was the one you were gonna show me?
Oh, I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna make you play it.
No, I was just gonna also say Movie Doll's fun too. But go ahead.
But it is one called Larry Birdle 2.
You've told me about.
Yes. I've told you about Larry Birdle 2.
Told me about Larry Birdle 2.
Okay, because we have to play Larry Birdle 2 after this.
Yeah. And
you have to see me either because I'm either really good or I'm horrible.
Okay.
But it is by far my favorite game now.
Oh wow. And so, real quick, because we could get through this in really, really fast. Movie Doll just plays an entire movie in 1 second.
Yes.
So, we're just going to get like...
We're going to get it.
That is Mary Poppins. But anyway.
I saw the guy.
What were you saying?
Yeah, I just love... Sporkle has a lot of these too, where it's like... It's kind of like they'll do one where it's like they'll do like a square, and then like each box is a hint, and then when you get one, it unlocks the other one, and then you have to like fill out all of those. Fucking love those games.
So here's Larry Birdle 2.
It's really hard.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't understand what's happening here.
So basically, it's like 2048 mixed with So go up. And click. Yeah. So you have unlimited. Yeah.
Bro, I can't with this, homie. This is
it's
too much.
So it's really hard. So you basically have 6 starting lineups, and you have to make the starting lineups. But they're all from different years. They're all from different teams.
On.
It's impossible. But I can get it like almost half the time. Like right now, just looking at this, Sabonis was on the Pacers with TJ McConnell, but McConnell was also on the 76ers. So that's like your link, you know? And also, like this is also a fun game because we're not gonna play it. We'll end here because we're not gonna play this shit. But my favorite thing is that you get to see how shitty teams were in the past.
Oh yeah.
Like the 2016 Nets, bro, was like, what the fuck is this team, bro? It's like Jarrett Jack was the starting point guard. The fuck is wrong with you, bro? Come on, Jarrett Jack. Man.
Well. It is officially time for Jam and Yam of the Week.
Indeed, it is.
I already have my jam. I actually thought I didn't have one because I've just been home. I didn't have work because of... That's the jam that I just played. It's called Digital Dope. It's called NugLife. It's called Digital Dope by NugLife and the Underachievers. So shout out to Digital Dope. It's pretty cool. The beat makes me feel like I'm... about to steal some fucking paintings in an art museum or something.
Ooh,
but
very cool. I'm picking a song that from that 1 second sounds really similar, and it's a song called Sleeping In by Deergod. He's a hip-hop producer, produces for like Bones and a couple of other rappers like that. That's how I found him, but he made a lo-fi like lounge hip-hop EP, and this song gives off like almost like it's like jazz but also like a morning cartoon vibe. Yeah. And it's like beautiful.
That's fire.
Yeah.
Like
has
that.
like probably like
it reminds me of like MF Doom almost a little bit.
Honestly, it sounds like a prettier MF Doom beat.
Okay.
Yeah.
I vibe with it.
Yeah.
Can't wait to hear it. Can't wait to be at my computer and be like, time to find Dylan's Yam. Oh, and that's a good song.
That's good. You know? And then the occasional few that it's like,
yeah, I'm not gonna lie. The past couple hyperpop ones have been like not my style, but every now and then there's one that I'm like, oh, yeah, that's a Yam Jam now.
The weirdest one I probably ever chose was Pumpkin Attack on Mommy and Daddy, but that's the one for another day.
Remember, Jesus Christ,
it's like an instrumental song.
Anyway,
yeah.
Thank you for joining us here at the Joystick Show, episode 130.
Correct, yes.
Next week, Dylan and I will be joining you from a different country when Dylan leaves the country for the first time. That's pretty exciting. Mm-hmm. It's kind of. I was telling my dad that it's also kind of funny that it's the first time you're leaving the U.S. and it's like you're the geography guy. So
it's very big. I got to get those little like scratchy things where you scratch off each country.
Poster. I've been there.
Middle Africa won't be scratched off because fucking malaria.
And Russia probably won't get scratched off.
Yeah.
But anyway, thanks for watching. We greatly appreciate you.
Do.
We would also greatly appreciate if you liked this episode and if you subscribe to the boys and helped us out. We are working to come up with some really cool stuff for when we get back from DR for the month of March and going forward with Joystick. We want to do a lot more unique things with the channel, involve the boys more. And you can check out all of that with your eyes first here at Joystick. So make sure you subscribe so you can see that firsthand. Before we go, I just want to tell Dylan that I hate him. Yeah. And that's all I had to say.
This is all a lie. We're actually, none of us are friends. And there is
we met on Craigslist.
Yeah, and there's an executive that pays us. We don't know his name. He just has a black suit and he shows up every Thursday.
Yeah, this is him.
Yeah. There he is. Hi. I don't know why I'm imagining like the robot from Fox, like the football robot, but in a suit.
Cleatus the football robot?
Yeah, Cleatus the football robot, but he's formal. Like he has a bow tie.